Alright, I wanted to put together a video of my Hillbilly Greenhouse slash Hothouse. I really use it more as a hothouse. I don't grow anything in it during the year. I use it for seed starting. Call it a hillbilly hothouse, well, because I'm kind of a hillbilly, and this is a good example of what happens when close enough is good enough. It's a pretty good idea, but I had to do a lot of it either by myself or with help who was good-natured and helpful, but neither one of us was particularly mechanically inclined. But anyway, real quick, I'm going to go over here and show my asparagus is coming up. This is the garden, my garden for all the plants that I will be growing this summer. Pretty big garden. It's about 900 square feet or so. Go over here. Obviously, it still needs cleaned up and tilled. There's my new dog I just rescued. Hey, Milo. Anyway, let's see. There is some asparagus coming through. There's one more over here. Looks like a little one coming up right here. So, a few more over there. Hard to see, I know, but anyway. Point being, the asparagus is here. Spring is on its way. Also, it's hard to tell. Planted some blueberries. These are the blueberry bushes. And some raspberries. This is all where my raspberries are, and kind of a freak occurrence. This was where I tried to grow onions last summer, and they never really came up. And now, over the winter, now that spring's here, they are growing like crazy. But you can see the raspberries are getting leaves. Anyway, let's get on to the main attraction, the Hillbilly Greenhouse. Everything I do is pretty much hillbilly. I built this all by myself, and it was a pretty hillbilly adventure too, but it's got these real high nets. They're hard to see. We get a lot of deer around here, so it keeps the deer out. Alright, so first mistake of this adventure was using plastic from Home Depot. Basically painter's plastic. It's not clear enough. I think it probably only lets about 55% of the light through. And it's double layered here because I'm lazy. So probably only letting through 35% of the light. Not ideal, but I don't have a huge budget here, so it is what it is. And then this isn't particularly great either. This is the door I invented. If I was smarter or had more time, I would have just put a door in the side here that you could open and close. But last year was the first year this was around, except none of the top area was here. It stopped here, and it was flat, and that had the obvious design flaw of letting water collect on the top. And I'll show you, it was on a hinge, so you could lift it totally off the base, and it was a big problem. I'm not usually home during the summer, so my mom and my grandma end up doing a lot of the work, and they complained quite a bit about the last design. So this is a slight improvement. At least water shouldn't collect too much. Anyway, this is the door. It just pops off, sort of like an escape hatch. You can see that I just put these bolts in it, and then it's kind of hard to tell, but you just slide the bolts into the holes, and there it goes. And then I climb my fat butt in here. Alright, now I'm trying with a heater to see if it'll work, and it's actually quite warm in here, so I'm pretty happy about that. I might bring out the plants pretty soon. Now, here's one of the big errors. This here was supposed to run a pipe up to meet this joint up here, but because I can't measure right, and like I said, I'm kind of a hillbilly, it doesn't line up. And I can't get any focus in here, which is weird, but anyway, as you can see, this thing is pretty big. There are 2x4s for the base. This is the hinge I was talking about. I basically put the PVC pipe inside a bigger PVC pipe to make a hinge, and the whole thing would flip up, and then you could get inside. Now, just for the time being, will be a climb inside venture. I may redo the whole thing in the years to come when this thing starts to fall apart. You can see the duct tape here. While I was building it, a big storm came, and it only had half the plastic on it. It caught like a sail and actually cracked off most of that whole side. And I don't have the skills. It had all been glued with PVC glue, or whatever you call it, PVC cement, and I didn't have the skill or the time right now to redo the whole thing, so, or the budget for that matter. Anyway, that has been duct taped back together, and it'll get through the spring. And then, I don't know, let's see, you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 1 in the middle, 2 on the sides. I'll probably end up starting about 300 or so plants in here. If you count all the flowers that are going to be in much smaller containers, probably be closer to 1,000 plants. It's pretty effective. I didn't have any heater in here last year, and it still worked pretty well. And the whole design was flawed and lousy. I couldn't tell you the whole budget because I don't remember, but there's 4 2x4s, probably somewhere between 10 and 15, I think 8 or 10 foot PVC pipes, 1-inch PVC pipe. And then some of these parts are specialty parts. I think that one was. I think this one is. Stuff like that. Probably another $20. Overall, I'd say I did it for somewhere between 80 and 100. Which isn't bad for being able to start all my plants. I actually have quite a few started inside right now, but they are just on under a fluorescent light, nothing too special to look at. And we'll end with a shot of the tulip and daffodil bulbs I planted last year. That is thrilling stuff. Alright, thanks for watching.